This Penguins prospect update is insane, featuring Ville Koivunen, who is setting the AHL on fire this season. We dive into his performance, and we dive into comments by Rutger McGroarty on Penguins goaltending prospect Sergei Murashov, who continues to break franchise records for the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Baby Penguins, one of the best goaltending prospects we have seen in quite some time, and he continues to etch his name in the history books, including a new record that he just took over in his last start. So we're going to get into that. We're going to get into Murashov, Koivunen, McGroarty's comments, Coach Kirk McDonald's comments. Plenty to talk about here on this episode of Penguins Digest. But before we go any further, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, Penguins Digest. We are up over 1,400 subscribers. I am trying to get to 1,500 by the end of March. So hit that sub button and help us reach our goal of 1,500 subscribers by the end of the month. It has been a fun month, and there's one more month of NHL hockey before the postseason starts. Mid-April, late April is when we see the postseason. So for now, we're going to focus on the Baby Penguins and the Pittsburgh Penguins equally, because the Baby Penguins are in the hunt right now. They are one of the best teams in the American Hockey League, and I think it's important to give you guys prospect updates. So this video is going to be a prospect update about two of our favorite young players on the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Baby Penguins, starting with Sergei Murashov. You guys know how I feel about Sergei Murashov. Dude is an absolute brick wall. We have featured him on this channel quite a bit because of how good he has done for Wilkes-Barre Scranton and for Wheeling before that. So Murashov is really the future in the cage for the Pittsburgh Penguins, and he continues to make that case. I mean, he is making that case as known as can be. Sergei Murashov is on everybody's radar right now. He just won his 10th straight start. That's 10 straight starts, 10 straight wins for Sergei Murashov at the AHL level, setting a Wilkes-Barre Scranton Baby Penguins record. A player that played for the Pittsburgh Penguins this season, Owen Pickering, and is down in Wilkes-Barre right now trying to help them make a playoff push. Owen Pickering was joking around about Sergei Murashov when he first met him at Prospect Development Camp last summer, and he looked at his Elite Prospects page and said, he's got some really, really good stats. And I think that's a valid reaction from Owen Pickering, because I had the same reaction when I looked at the Elite Prospects page of Sergei Murashov. Wins, wins, wins. That's all he's ever done, no matter where he's been, if it's in Russia, if it's here, the ECHL, the AHL, the SHL, the KHL. I mean, it literally does not matter where Sergei Murashov has gone. He has won everywhere that he has gone. And I already said this, but this is his first season in North America, so that makes the numbers even more impressive after he signed that 3-year entry-level deal with the Pittsburgh Penguins. But enough of that. Let's hear from the coaches. Let's hear from the players. What do they think about Sergei Murashov? And more importantly, what does Sergei Murashov think about himself? And they asked him what his secret was to winning all these games, and Sergei said, honestly, no secret. Just enjoy games. I love to win. Every game is a process for me. It's not just like thinking about the result. I'm just staying in the moment, and all the guys really helped me a lot with all the games. Honestly, just enjoy the game, fight for the win, and just do my job. I do a lot of stuff when no one watches me, so I just think it pays off for me, and I just love to do it. So Sergei Murashov, that was in an interview last month when he talked about his preparation. He talked about how he does this, talked about his secret, how he's so good. And like he said, it's no secret. It's all preparation. It's the stuff he does when no one's watching. And that's what makes a great player. It's what you do when no one's watching you that really builds legends. It's what builds these elite players that we see in today's game. All the work that they put in that we don't know they put in. I mean, Sergei Murashov, there's a reason at 20 years old he looks this refined as a goaltender. It's because of all the stuff he does off the ice. And Wilkes-Barre Scranton head coach Kirk McDonald, he said he's a super competitive kid. He finds ways to make the big save when you need it. He's also just really good at parking a bad goal or a bad sequence, getting that out of your head, or when things aren't going right for the group, shake that off. He finds a way to battle through, keep us in a game, and he's done a great job for us. That's Kirk McDonald. And then you look at what Rutger McGroarty said, and he's a guy that has the leadership intangibles that you look for, a guy that could have a letter on his jersey someday for the Pittsburgh Penguins. McGroarty said about Murashov, he doesn't get rattled. He doesn't get too high, doesn't get too low, and overall, he's such a great goalie. I feel like he makes big-time saves that no one expects him to make, but also he makes those saves that you should make, and he makes them look very easy. He continued to say he's awesome, and we've loved having him so far. He's a great kid in the locker room. I feel like Sergei is always smiling. He's always laughing. He doesn't talk as much, but he's always smiling, and it's fun being around him. That tells me Ding, 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 franchise goalie. That's what that tells me. Sergei Murashov, not only does he have the mentality, not only does he have the personality, but the dude has game. And he goes out there and is a brick wall night after night for the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Baby Penguins. A big reason why they had the success that they've had this season. And again, this guy's undefeated as a Wilkes-Barre Scranton Baby Penguin, undefeated in the AHL, 10 wins in a row. The longest ever streak by a Wilkes-Barre Scranton goaltender is actually 11, but that is for a non-rookie. He already broke the record for a rookie. Now he can break John Curry's unbeaten streak for a goaltender, period. It doesn't matter if you're a rookie or not. 11 is the record for the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Baby Penguins. He actually had a 13-game winning streak with Wheeling, with the Nailers of the ECHL back in November to January. The longest win streak in Nailers history by a goaltender, and the longest streak by a rookie in ECHL history. So every level that this guy goes to, he breaks records. That's what he does. And you look at the stats, they back it up. He has 11 appearances, 10 of them starts, 10 wins, a shutout, a .916 save percentage, .258 goals against average. This dude is the real deal, and we will continue to keep you updated on all things Sergei Murashov because he is the future of the Pittsburgh Penguins. And it's important to talk about guys like this. He has room to grow, and his statistics show that he's knocking on the door of the NHL. At his age, to be this efficient, to be this effective at every level, just continuing to move up level by level and prove himself. And that's what we see. This Penguins goaltending situation, you know, Tristan Jarry, the ups and downs, the shaky play, him and Nedeljkovic, and then of course Joel Blomqvist. Blomqvist had a couple opportunities in the NHL as well and just wasn't able to seize that opportunity. He struggled. So with Murashov, he's a little bit more refined at this point, even though he's younger than Blomqvist, and I just expect to see him sooner rather than later. There's a log jam between the pipes for Pittsburgh, and these goalies ahead of Murashov on the depth chart have not done anything to separate themselves from the pack. So of course, Sergei Murashov, if Kyle Dubas wants to clear the pack to make sure Murashov's the guy moving forward, he can absolutely do that. I think maybe a little bit more development for Murashov. I wouldn't rush it because he is so young, but I would say within the next 2 seasons, even if it is next season, Sergei Murashov is going to be the Pittsburgh Penguins starting goalie, and he will be for years to come. You think about goalies that have accomplished a lot in their careers, in their young careers, guys that are still in their 20s. You're thinking about Andrei Vasilevsky, Igor Shesterkin. We watched them kind of transcend before our very eyes, these Russian goaltenders, and Murashov could add his name to that bunch as well. You think about Sergei Bobrovsky and how effective he's been winning Stanley Cups, even at his age. So the longevity of these Russian goaltenders is something special to look at, and I think Sergei Murashov is only getting started. He's only getting his feet under him right now in North America, and this being his first season, as young as he is, he's going to continue to develop into the goaltender that we need him to be, and he's going to be the future of the franchise. So real quick, another prospect update for you guys before we end this video. Ville Koivunen deserves to have his name talked about a little bit on this channel because dude has been heating up since the turn of the calendar year. He has been one of the most effective players for Wilkes-Barre Scranton all year, but now he's chasing some records. So it's time to talk about Ville Koivunen. We've already done so on this channel before because, again, he is a stud. But right now, Ville Koivunen is chasing an AHL record. He is chasing franchise history in the American Hockey League for the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Baby Penguins, and that is because he is having a memorable rookie season. 54 points in 64 games, 21 years old, from Finland. He is the Penguins' leading scorer by 6 points this season. He ranks 3rd on the team in goals and 1st in points. After Sunday's contest against Bridgeport, Koivunen earned an assist on Valtteri Pustinen's game winner and surpassed Rob Schremp for 5th place for the most points by a rookie player in Wilkes-Barre Scranton Baby Penguins history. And here's the list. 67 was set by Toby Peterson in 2000 and 2001. Daniel Sprong, 65 in 2017. Tom Kostopoulos, Matt Murley, and then you got Ville Koivunen showing up there on that leaderboard for most points by a rookie in Wilkes-Barre Scranton Baby Penguins history. And you look at the standings right now in the AHL as a whole for players, not just rookies, but players. He's number 1 among rookies, but players, he is 8th. And actually tied for 7th with Isaac Rosen. So he has become one of the most prolific scorers in all of the American Hockey League in his first season. So that's a name to remember, everybody. I mean, Ville Koivunen, 2nd round pick. He came over in the Jake Gensel trade from Carolina, a highly touted prospect. We didn't know what he was going to turn into after Finland, but there is a lot of credibility from that organization over there, and we'll get to that in just a second. First, want to mention that he has been one of the hockey world's hottest players in 2025, and just an incredible 31 points in 14 games. As I said, since the calendar turned over, the hot streak gives him 53 points in 58 games. That was before the last game, so now he's at 54 points, which, again, very high on the leaderboard in the AHL as a whole, and then number 1 among rookies. No other rookie ranks in the top 15 of scoring in the American Hockey League. So Koivunen blossoming into a star production-wise, and his confidence continues to grow every game, and that's what development's all about. Sometimes confidence is the most important thing, and now we get to the actual credibility of where he came from over there in Finland. They had a lot of good players that come through Finland that came to the NHL, and that's a lofty bill to place on a 21-year-old. But Koivunen, he has answered the bell after spending the last 3 seasons with the Liigas Kärpät, part of Finland's top pro league. He was the 20th highest scoring U19 player in Liiga history, behind a full list of NHL talent, including Joel Armia, Sami Vatanen, Arturi Lehkonen. I mean, these guys are some of the premier players from Finland to play in the National Hockey League, and Ville Koivunen is putting his name right on that same list. But then he struggled in the AHL. He only played 12 games at the end of the season last year, and now this season getting a full season as a rookie, trying his best to approach all of those Penguins records that were set years ago, at least putting his name in the conversation for one of the greatest rookie seasons in Wilkes-Barre Scranton Baby Penguins history. 11 games left in the regular season for the Baby Pens. He does have a chance to catch Murley and Kostolopoulos, who each had 58 points, but it's going to be difficult for him to catch Daniel Sprong or get near that franchise record held by Toby Peterson of 67 points. Either way, a lot of credit to Ville Koivunen in the season that he's having. He has been fantastic for the Baby Pens. Him and Sergei Murashov leading the way for Wilkes-Barre in what should be a memorable playoff push for the Baby Pens. And we're excited to cover it here on Penguins Digest, but I think it was worth just giving you guys a little update on how great these guys have been for the Baby Pens this season, and especially lately. Murashov breaking another record, Koivunen getting very close to another Penguins rookie franchise record. So 2 of the best rookies we've seen in a long time for Wilkes-Barre, helping that team spark one of their best seasons in recent memory. So thank you guys for watching this episode of Penguins Digest. We'll be back with more content on this channel. Penguins Lightning tonight. It's going to be a fun one here in Tampa Bay. So yeah, guys, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and we will see you on the next episode of Penguins Digest.